Welcome to the High Vibe Moms Club, the podcast for ambitious women ready to ditch burnout, diet culture, and mom guilt so they can feel hot, healthy, and radiant from the inside out. I'm your host, Shannon, and this isn't just another wellness podcast. It's a movement. If you're ready to raise your vibe, reset your health, and step into your most confident self, you're in the right place. Welcome. Come on in. Hello, friend. Today's episode is one that I'm so excited about because we are going to talk about manifestation, but not in like the fluffy woo-woo, just think positive and hope for the best kind of way. We're talking, because of my engineering background, I do love myself some science. So we are going to talk about science-backed manifestation, neuroplasticity, confirmation bias, and your brain's filtering system. Because manifestation, it's not magic. It's how your brain is wired. So let me start with what might feel kind of like the tough truth. You are choosing the life that you are experiencing. And before you're like, WTF, Shannon, some very difficult things happened to me in my life or are happening right now. And I'm not referring to us choosing our circumstances, but we do choose what to focus on. So this episode, we're not talking about everything is your fault. This doesn't mean you should feel guilty for feeling frustrated with how life is working out. And this doesn't mean that life hasn't handed you some real challenges. There are absolutely things you could be frustrated about right now, and that's perfectly okay. But, big but, if you focus on those frustrating things all day long, your day will feel heavy, stressful, and overwhelming. And here's the opposite. If you focus on what's going right, even the smallest things, your experience of the day completely changes. And this is why in other episodes on social media, I always talk about how important gratitude is. Because gratitude, it's not just about spiritual, it's not about the positive thinking, it is neurological. Because manifestation, it's often portrayed as, on social media, as a wishing, a hoping, a pretending problems don't exist, or waiting for the universe to just drop something in your lap. And that is not manifestation. Manifestation is the process by which your subconscious beliefs, your dominant thoughts, and identity shape the reality that you experience. So guess what? You are always manifesting. Every day, everything you're doing is a manifestation of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your identity. But here's the biggest question, is whether you are manifesting consciously or unconsciously. And most of us, we're literally running on outdated programs from childhood, and we're not even aware of it. Here is the good news about today's episode. Your brain, it's neuroplastic, which means it is not fixed. It is constantly changing based on what you think, what you repeat, and what you emotionally reinforce. Every thought you think strengthens a neural pathway. Your brain, it doesn't care what's true. It cares what is repeated. And since I always love a good analogy, if you're hiking down a new trail, it will be full of brush. But the more you walk that trail again and again, the more that path will be defined. You'll have a nice dirt beaten down path versus all the brush when you first started. So if you've spent years thinking, I'm always behind, nothing works out for me, this is just how my life is, I can't get ahead, those thoughts become automatic. Not because you're broken, but because your brain learned them through the repetition. And drum roll, please. What's learned can be rewired. Neuroplasticity, baby. This next part is where we get a little bit deeper into the science. Confirmation bias, which the driver behind it is the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. Your brain receives millions of bits of data, information every second. The sounds, the visuals, sensations, thoughts. And if we had to consciously process all of it, your brain would shut down. You would literally shut down. There's too much going on with the birds chirping in the background, but you're not focusing on that because you might be focusing on something else that your brain, the reticular activating system, is filtering. Because the RAS decides what you notice, what you ignore, and what feels important. Your RAS filters reality based on your beliefs, not your goals, not your intentions, but your beliefs. So is this all starting to make sense now? I hope it doesn't feel like I'm breaking it down enough. And I also love to hear from you on social media. So make sure to message me because I want to hear what your biggest takeaways are. But I'm not done yet. I just want to make sure it's all making sense now. If you believe life is hard, money is stressful, I'm overwhelmed, nothing ever goes my way, your RAS goes to work. It scans your environment and highlights things to prove your beliefs right. And this is things like delays, problems, stressors, things that confirm frustration. And it doesn't do this to sabotage you or to punish you, but because it thinks it's helping. And that is confirmation bias. So you can have the same day, the same circumstances, but a completely different filter. And going back to gratitude, this is why it's so powerful. When you intentionally focus on what's going right, what you appreciate, what feels supportive, what you're thankful for, you give your RAS new instructions. You're telling your brain, this right here, this is what's important right now. And suddenly, your brain will start highlighting solutions, moments of ease, supportive people, small wins, opportunities you might have missed before. And it's not because they just magically appear now. It's because your brain finally allowed you to see them. And if you still don't believe me, think about when you're shopping for a new car. You might have never noticed how many gray Suburbans were out there on the road. But now that you're in the market for one, you see that vehicle everywhere. Back to our point in the beginning. You choose the life you are experiencing. You choose the filter your brain is using. There will always be things to be frustrated about. There will always be angry, rude people in the world, unfortunately. And if you keep your focus there, your RAS will make sure your day feels rough. It's like the social media logarithm where you look at one thing and then all of a sudden your whole feed is, for me, if I look at cinnamon rolls, my whole feed is then full of cinnamon rolls. This is exactly what your brain does, the RAS. So we want to focus on gratitude, possibility, and intention, because then your nervous system calms, your perception shifts, and your reality starts to feel different. And it's not through force. It's not through this fake toxic positivity. It's through intentional focus. So manifestation, it's not woo-woo. It's not new age nonsense. It is deeply rooted in neuroscience, psychology, and even ancient wisdom. And even Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." And Luke 17:21, "The kingdom of heaven lives within you." Manifestation, it's prayer and action. Belief paired with focus and repetition. Today, I want you to ask yourself, what am I focusing on? What am I reinforcing? And what am I training my brain to notice? Because the moment you start to shift your focus, your brain begins to rewire. And when your brain rewires, your experience of life follows. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply running on old software. And the best part, you get to upgrade it starting today. So I hope that this is exactly what you needed to hear today. And if it did resonate with you and you're ready to stop living on autopilot and start intentionally rewiring your health, mindset, and life, please come say hi to me on Instagram at Shannon Gets Fit with a Z. DM me the word align, and let's talk about what support could look like for you. Because you don't have to do this alone. You get to live an extraordinary life, and I want to help you on that path. Have a great week. I love you. Bye.